But okay. So, hi guys. Um, this is the video where I am going to show you about a book that I have just read. This book, I think it's quite life changing. Maybe for all of you that wants to learn about something, and maybe as you guys can see from the thumbnail, this book is quite dangerous, as in if you are really applying to all of the techniques and also tricks coming from this book, I think you're going to be able to do and to accomplish everything, not necessarily the purpose of this book only, but also at the same time the purpose of everything once you are interacting with other people as well. So the book that I just read is called um, this one. I don't know if it's going to be flipped or something else, but this is actually Why Men Love Bitches by um, Sherry Argov. It has tons of, I would say, testimonials and also reviews, interviews with tons of men from different backgrounds and from different range of age. So I would say it's really highly suggested if you are wanting to read this book. And I'm going to show you not the entire book because I don't want to spill all of the things that you can get from this book. And I'm not sponsored, and hopefully in the future there will be a lot of sponsors coming into my YouTube channel. But let's see. I'm going to break down, not break down by the way, I'm going to show you some of the talking points from this book so that you can understand a little bit is what are all the contents, the talking points that you are gonna get while you are reading this book. By the way, I bought this book on Perry Plus, if I'm not mistaken. If you're coming from the Southeast Asia, you can just buy it on Shopee. And the first talking point is from the doormat to dream girl. I think coming from this content, the author really talks about how you should really transform yourself. As in, if you're becoming too available, you're going to be able to prioritize yourself in the very first place. I think that's going to be the main point of this book. And then the second one is why men prefer bitches. Sometimes, basically in this content, it's talking about how men are not necessarily direct in terms of what they wanted from their partner or from their spouse, and it really breaks down about everything that you really need, just so you are able to find what truly unconsciously men want from you and how they pursue you, as in those kind of things. And then the third talking point in here is the candy store. How to make the most of your feminine and sexual powers on Huhubei at a time. So, if I'm not mistaken, the candy store itself, or this part, is actually talking about how you treat your man, but not necessarily in a very dominating, or it's not something that you do it frequently. You may do it frequently if he's behaving well and right to your wants and to your needs. But if he's not doing and he's not behaving well, you're not giving it. And then the fourth contents, or the fourth talking points coming from this book, is dumb like a fox. So here's the thing. while I was reading this section, I would say I was really quite astonished because as someone who's quite um, forefront and who's really direct about what I really want, I learned that sometimes in life, if you want to save your life, coming from all of these intricacies or even obstacles or even problems and issues like that, you sometimes need to act like you're dumb, like a fox. So that's why while I was reading this book, I felt like this book is not necessarily discussing about how you should be applying this only to men, but it can be applied to your colleagues, your friends, your college friends, your I don't know, your acquaintances, and some and sort of. So that would be really applicable, and it succeed. To be honest with you, it succeed because the drive, the ambition, the tendency of men wanting to help, wanting to accomplish, wanting to finish everything as fast as possible, it really shows up in this book. So that's why this book is quite recommended, in my own opinion. So that's the fourth main talking points. And then the fifth one is going to be jumping through hoops like a circus poodle. So this talking points or this content is actually talking about how you shouldn't be giving yourself away. And as I previously mentioned, you should be really prioritizing yourself. You should put yourself on the pedestal above all of the people, above your men, above your colleagues, above your acquaintances, above everyone. This is also a quite life changing, I would say, moment when I am reading this book because this sort of telling you that you should come first. And this mindset always comes to me whenever I do something in my office, whenever I do something when I'm working. I really need to finish my own task first before I want to finish about other people's task as well. Because at the end of the day, when we're talking about working, it's gonna be other people's achievement while we are helping them. But if it's about us putting ourselves on the pedestal, it's gonna be our own achievement and sort of like that. So that's the fifth point. So you should put yourself on the pedestal, blah blah blah, and stuff like that. And then the next talking point is going to be like nagging no more, what to do when he takes you for granted. So here's the thing. And these talking points, men actually know. Men can actually sense when you're nagging, you're actually becoming too desperate, you're becoming too attached, sort of like wanting to pull him into your own limerence. And it doesn't feel really good for men because they want to be free and their nature is to make sure that they have that kind of free space and free time just to feel and just to experience everything in the world. So that's the main point of it. And then the next talking point is going to be the other team's secret playbook, things you suspected but never heard of him saying. What men think about how women communicate the top. So here's the thing. In this content, specifically in this section, um, you'll be given a lot of the reason why you can sort of fight with men, but you can do it in a good way, I would say. Because, when you're becoming too submissive, but also at the same time, you don't have your own independent opinion about something, you're going to be perceived as someone who's too easy to acquire, to conquer. Because remember, the nature of men was to conquer something back in those days when they were expanding their own kingdom, when they are trying to build their own kingdom and stuff like that. They need to conquer those areas. They need to conquer something, or even they need to, conquer um, other kingdoms as well. So you shouldn't be really available. And this content specifically on the seventh section is going to talk a lot more about how it would play out, and this would give you the secret recipe about that. Okay, the eighth section is keeping your pink slip. Here's the thing. I understand that most of us, or most of the people, most of women out there, they want to be wifed up, they want to be provided, um they want to get taken care of by their men. It's really good. But also at the same time, you have to have your own deposit. So one day, if there's something bad happen to your man, you can pull yourself from that man and you can find other men as well. So coming from that notion, it's pretty helpful, I think, because it's not necessarily how to manipulate men only, but also at the same time, it's talking about how you should really prepare as a woman to have your own deposit, to have your own backup plan. So if this man fumbles you, or if there's something happened in their life, you can still pretty much save your life and you're not gonna be in trouble because of him. So that's a really good point. The next one is how to renew the mental challenge. So in this section, I found a lot of instances, I found a lot of examples that you can find out while you are reading this book. But I can summarize that sometimes when someone, or when a man becomes too comfortable, they're trying to disobey, quote unquote, about the things that you ask them to do for you. It can be something really simple, like you're asking a favor for lifting, I don't know, lifting some bookshelves, or you want to move some decoration to another room. Let's just say like that. But he didn't want it. So this section is going to talk how to do it, because there are going to be steps, examples, again, instances that you can understand while you are reading this book. And yeah, I think it's it's really fulfilling, I think, for me whenever I read this book as well. And then the next section is going to be gaining control of your emotions. I think this section is really good, because sometimes we forget that we might play some sort of like tricks and all of those things, and we got our own dream person or spouse or something else like that. But sometimes we also forget that the main problem may not come from other people, but the problem might come from ourselves. well, we're not capable of handling our own emotions, and we are not able to control our um, emotions and stuff like that. So it's really good because in this section you've got the Q&A session sort of a thing, because the authors are giving you some sort of like the letters coming from the readers, and it's being answered within this book, so it's really good. And the last chapter would be the new and improved pitch. I would say in this section, it's almost like the summary of all of the things that the author have written before. It's almost like a comparison between like the old you and also the new you while you've been successfully applying all of the techniques and methods coming from this book. So I guess this is like a really good book because it truly summarizes everything. And then in the last chapter, in the last chapter of it, you're gonna get the appendixes where there's a lot of like attraction principles that has been accumulated in the last section, in the last chapter of this book. Because within each of the section, you're gonna get like a really short principle that the author has summarized, I would say. So this short principle has been gathered in one section just in case you are worried whether or not you're going to get lost of it, because I am also underlining some of the best lesson that I got from this book, just in case I want reread something, or just in case I need something from this book about information. But yeah, so far in 2025, I have finished this book. So you guys, if you want to read something, if you want to transform something, if you feel that in your relationships right now you're not getting what you want and everything seems really different from the initial phase of your relationships, maybe this book is going to be really beneficial for you. So I highly recommend this book. So just buy it. It's only like, I don't know. Oh yeah. Oh, this is only 15. I would say $16. But if you're in Canada, it's gonna be like $20 something, which is quite affordable, I would say, because I always treat a book as my own investment. So happy. I hope you're also treating book as the investment. So yeah, and it's also available as an ebook. Maybe you don't want to collect this book as your physical book. You can collect it as your ebook, or maybe you've bought this book, but you're wondering whether or not this book is having their own ebook version. Yes, it's available on Amazon, so you can buy the ebook as a Kindle version of it, or you can find other official store that it it it, it provides you with the ebook version of this. So I think that's all from me for this section. I am recording this in the outside just to make sure that I am feeling comfortable enough talking in front of people, because this is almost like taking a leap of faith. And there were people, not people actually, like there were some of the people around me, like walking next to me, but I didn't really pay attention because I really need to finish this video before everybody is actually vlogging this. But yes, I got myself. I filmed this not by having tripod, but yeah, well, I guess that's it. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you get something, and I truly recommend this book. So thank you, and Hope you're having like a great day. Bye.